Good day and good evening, and welcome back to Expedition 33 with me, Chaiji, but you can just call me Kai. So, last time, we left off on a bit of a weird note. First, we spent like 40 minutes trying to beat the Super Lamp Master. Died. I almost gave up right then and there. We had a bit of a conversation about how the difficulties impacted. From what I can find, the super bosses here in the end area are either completely unaffected by your difficulty setting, or they just have the same stats anyway. But last time, we then went and tried Lampmaster again, but on the medium difficulty. Didn't notice any difference, but we played the fight so much better that, I mean, they didn't get to hit me, so we managed. However, the rest of the bosses basically have different versions of an exact hard counter to what I did. On Lampmaster, I used a trick that some of you may have seen me use on Simon, like a while back, which is just stun lock him to death. That doesn't really work on at least 2 of the 3 bosses that remain. Because I've been told the Duollistes boss eventually will just have a mechanic where every time you take a turn, the boss takes a turn immediately, which means that the only way to permanently stun lock them is if you could chain stun them every turn with every character, which you can't. Like, the only character that can reliably stun these, like break these bosses in the first place, is Monoko, and he needs help to do that. And the only one that can, like, stun lock them after that is Verso, who, you guessed it, needs 2 turns to do that. And if Duollistes gets 2 turns every time you get 2 turns, then you stun the boss for 2 turns, using your 2 turns, and the boss becomes stunned, and then recovers, and then it's back to you, and you have to stun it again. And it's too expensive to do that, so that's not happening. Clair is basically invulnerable until you do a counterattack. So it doesn't matter if I have the stun lock strat down. She needs to be stunned, or rather be counterattacked at the correct time and then stun locked to death, which, again, little too finicky, not a fan of that. And finally, Super Simon himself becomes invulnerable if you break him. And he stays invulnerable until he gets to have a turn. So, like, this strategy doesn't work. So, my consideration was either we don't bother, or I did what I've basically never done in this game. I grinded. I grinded rocks. As it turns out, there is a way to farm 5 Lumina points in 1.5 minutes. And you basically just run back and forth like you're like a worker in a gold mine in Warcraft 3. And just go over, punch a guy in the snoot, and then you get 5 rocks. And you run back, respawn, and go back again, punch them in the snoot, run back and forth. And all you have to do is just do that. It's not very entertaining, but it's very easy. And as soon as you have the capacity to one-shot the boss, which is not hard, there you go. So I did that. I got Mael to basically 500 Lumina points. Then I realized that there was no way that I could get enough time before this stream to get everyone to 500. And the reason why I would get everyone to 500 is because Super Simon, just like regular Simon, will kill the main squad and force you to bring in the backup after like 2/3 of the fight. So I would need to make sure that both the frontliners and the backline are ready to go if I'm fighting Simon fairly. But because I realized I wouldn't be able to prepare everyone, I looked up, like, how do you make a build that does a lot of damage? And, well, let's just say that Lune was optional and Monoko wasn't needed. Let me demonstrate to you what it is that I've prepared. Verso uses Cerezo instead of the best weapon he can use, because Cerezo makes his perfection meter boost everyone else instead of himself. That of course means that he basically does no damage. That's okay. That's okay. Because we don't need him to do any damage. Let me just do it again. Then we have CL, who has so much AP and so many Lumina points that she can also just do some free aim memes, just because she has so much more than she needs. Then we make sure that Mark is up on the target to make extra damage, and we have Gradient 3. We make Mael to double damage. Then we put Mael to 1 HP, which makes it to 50% more damage, and puts her in Virtus. She's, by the way, using Esium, which spends AP to make her next attack do more damage. We're not gonna use any AP. We're just gonna delete the enemy, and it's gonna look like this. I misclicked the timing. And despite getting it not perfect, that still did like 200 million damage. For the record, supposedly, Super Simon has 100 million. So, the game plan is we need to survive. But if everything goes right, the fight is going to be over in 2 minutes. And the reason why I did this level of prep is because with the difficulty of these bosses, I would be extremely demoralized if I had to play perfectly, which is what Super Simon requires, for 40 minutes. I can't. I straight up can't. Like, I don't think I can play perfectly for 20 minutes. So that's not happening. However, each of the bosses have a way to counter this. Even if I can do this, even if I can just delete them, Duollistes is 3 bosses in 1, so I have to do this 3 times in a row, and everyone has to survive. However long that takes, I have to have everyone survive. It's possible that Mael is strong enough that if her turn rolls around naturally, she can still one-shot what remains. But that has to happen 3 times in a row. And it might be difficult if she can't Gomage every time. Clair is invulnerable until we counterattack her, so it doesn't matter that I can one-shot her if I can't parry her. And Super Simon basically has the opportunity to delete whoever he happens to attack first. Doesn't matter if I have second chance or not. He's gonna hit them hard, and if I don't dodge the correct thing, they die. As in, they don't die, they get deleted. You know, how some of you may have seen Renoir have just gone and deleted someone. That's what he does. Just as part of his toolkit, he'll just smack you around and then go, gone. And if you don't dodge it, you're gone. So we do have to be perfect. The difference is that with this level of prep, we have to be perfect for 2-3 minutes, maybe? Probably more with Duollistes. And then we just have to land the hit. And I don't know how effective this will be, but I will admit, I wasn't expecting to be able to do 1 billion damage. But that's where we are. And let it be known that I knew that you could over-prep very hard, which is part of the reason why I never grinded throughout this journey before. Now, with that said, with that preamble out of the way, hey Nox, Hey Agent Monica. Hey Ham, hey Zaf. Ilyashuki. And hey Sally and Aradel. Hope you're all doing very well. Now, let's see. I think was it Duollistes? So basically last time we did Lampmaster was over here. And go over here. Is that Duollistes? Yes. I might have to change some things in the build as we go. I'm just testing things to see what we can even get away with, but I haven't tried these bosses off stream. Like basically because I didn't want to like go and like test things off stream to like ruin the surprise more than it has already been ruined, I guess. I basically over prepared, and I didn't realize how much you could over prepare. But here we go. There's two of them! Because they're Duollistes.
Let's carve a path.
And then we do it again. I do not know if they die together or anything. If they do, great, fantastic, easy game. But we're gonna make sure one of them dies. And then we take it from there.
Eyes don't lie.
Apparently we're also so fast that we're gonna go... Everyone is going to go twice, and then Verso goes an extra time. Amazing. Is their HP bar not moving? And that's because two of my three characters are basically made to buff the third one.
Get out of this campus.
Like so. Hey Wolfkin! Oh, right. She has a shortcut. So because of last chance, she gets to go again. I guess we'll just set up again.
Last chance.
Bring it on.
This might still work, but with Verso dead, that's gonna be harder. And we do not have the gradient charge to get it. Let's see.
Do me in.
It was the jumping attack that kept getting me.
Let's dance.
Bro! Ow. Yeah, that's what I mean, is that this is the exact reason why I basically prepared to insta-kill the bosses, because there is no way for me to actually get this done with that level of difficulty.
Last chance. I'm okay.
Yeah. Not quite as good when she's alone. It's that long you know, that's true. But it does look like what's gonna... No, we're not doing that. What's gonna happen is that when that second phase clocks in, I basically have to get everyone through it. And this might take a few goes, because that is hard, man. Expected long combo, not that long.
Show me what you can do. Time to hit big.
Time to hit big.
I can do it. Out of this canvas.
Ah, yes, cool 910 million damage, guys. You know, there might be an optimization here in not giving Mael shortcut, because she does not need this turn.
Oh well. Let's carve a path.
Let me just do that. We get too much AP here. And we just have to keep trying until we get it. The good news is that because of the setup, it's a really short battle. I'm pretty sure the moment that we hit Mael's turn with the setup again, in phase 2, it's over. But as I had anticipated, this is gonna take a while.
Get out of this campus.
That was a low roll. Hey, Philippe! Does the HP of the second go back to full when you kill the first? No, 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 no. What's happening is they're combining into one. They actually have shared health. That's why they die as a group when I kill one of them. So there's nothing like, oh, I'll just hit them evenly. This is one battle. You kill one of them, and then they merge, and then phase 2 begins with a new health bar separately. Ah, yeah, 69 shots, nice.
Let's gamble.
I just realized that I didn't even give Ciel painted power. I mean, it doesn't matter. She's not gonna do damage, but it's pretty funny.
I'm ready.
I really just set Ciel up to fail. There we go! 910 million again! Fantastic.
Last chance.
The range attack spam needs... You know, the thing is, when Versa was using a different weapon, he could have done like 10, 20, 50 times more damage. It's just that that's nothing. That's nothing. And this weapon makes Mael do like double or triple damage, I'm not sure. Which is, you know, 200 million times 3 or 2. Doesn't matter. That's not the damage that Versa's doing, so... He's not powerful enough to justify having the weapon that make him do damage.
My turn. Oh well.
Ah, the jumping again. And the jumping again. Let's see. Let's just quickly review, make some small changes. First off, you should have painted power, even if it's for like a really, really, really tiny thing. If we get to that point, Versa's already dead, so whatever. Alright, everybody, can we find... There it is. And... And go over here. You're wearing it, of course. Fantastic. That's really annoying. We can make it work as long as we get something with like 20% crit. I mean, That works. Painful on the speed, I guess. But we specifically need you to not have shortcut because it's hurting us. Because it seems like you get your cheater turn, but after the cheater turn, like once you've had your turn or your cheater turn, Duoliste takes the turns that it is owed. So getting one move into the next phase is like not helping anyone. It's better if Versa goes first. Oh, see, now that's a little more damage. It's still not relevant, but it's more.
Okay. Get out of this campus.
Doink. So an interesting thing that I can see here is that, just while we're on the topic of how this works, notice in the turn order on the left that Duoliste doesn't take turns. Duoliste doesn't have a speed stat, it doesn't care. But the moment I end my turn, Duoliste like just shoves itself in ahead. And you see right there, boom! Suddenly, Duoliste has a turn that it would like to take. So speed is kind of redundant once we get to this phase. I also like how I have so many procs that it goes off the screen. Oh boy. Almost.
Let's go.
We're gonna try.
Show me what we can do. Okay.
It occurs to me that Mael still had a second chance there, but I don't think it would have worked. I should have let it play out so we could see. I should not have abandoned there. I was too fast.
Let's carve a path.
Well,
You're outmatched.
like that might actually have been good enough, but it might also like not done enough damage with with Verso down and things like that. I sure hope you like this music and the sound of guns, because I'm gonna be here for a while, I think. supposed to be a gun? I don't know, actually.
Time to strike. Eyes don't lie. Show me what you can do.
Oh, well, that makes things easy for me. For a while.
I want to support. The dance begins. Blades shine.
And we see how much we can do with basically none of all the power boosts. That wasn't enough, apparently. I don't know if it's a gun sound, but it's certainly a sound. All the blasting. So anyway, I started blasting.
Let's carve a path.
It also says a lot because that was 120 million and it survived. Like, just consider for a fact that if I just went in with what I had last week, that would take an eternity because it's doing like 4 million per turn.
Well, well. Get out of this campus.
What? What? I think the game bugged out. I'm supposed to be stanceless right now. Hello? And it's not supposed to be Mael's turn.
Please survive.
No. See, the thing is, silly. Mael used Gomage while in Virtuous. If you use a move that puts you in a specific stance while you're already in it, you go stanceless instead. So she should have been stanceless, not in Virtuous. And it should not still have been her turn. Game straight up just bugged out.
Let's carve a path.
was really weird.
Ready to strike.
Let's play. Eyes don't lie. Oh well. Not giving up. Get out of this campus.
I'm still here thinking, imagine if I didn't do this amount of prep. This would have been absolutely demoralizing and impossible straight off the bat. Ah, yes, just a cool 100 and, I don't know, 30 or 40 or 50 million. Just remember the 123 or so million that I did that didn't kill. It actually left the box like a recent round of belt.
Please hide.
If only we could start from the second phase, that would be nice. That would be cool.
Eyes don't lie. Sharp. I can do it.
You're outmatched.
I was thinking maybe there was a way to circumvent the Duoliste getting a turn, because we could make it so Mael goes again right at the top of the next of phase 2 by using shortcut. So if we use Burning Canvas to kill phase 1, which I think is possible, maybe, then we go into phase 2 in offensive stance, which is 50% more damage instead of 200%, so basically half damage. But then CL's damage buff is also gone, so half damage again. Then If all of that works, then if we do a high roll, we'd still do like 200 million damage with Gomage. I don't know if it works out that way, because I'm pretty sure we would go into phase 2 with like no AP, so the damage bonus from the weapon is basically gone, which could cut the damage like a third, and then it doesn't work at all. Like, too many multipliers gone. Something with the order's weird. Well. Oh, I see the problem. Ciel never procced her rush, so Mael is faster. Well, maybe this works.
Get out of this canvas.
Low roll. That is, by the way, also the reason why I do the shots for Ciel, even though like it does no damage, because he's using it to build buffs.
Here we go. Let's dance.
Calm down.
I'm ready. Last chance. Blades sharp. Get out of this canvas.
Not close at all, guys. What was the weapon we just got? Dualism? Each successive base attack hits on the same turn deals 100% more damage. Right, so if you use combo attack, I guess it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that a 200 million Gomage? I don't think so. I don't know. It didn't really show the number, and I'm pretty sure we had the 227 million one was in phase 1. So yeah, it does help with the like over on the YouTube side of things. Thank you so much in advance. Continue. Free aim shots apply 1 foretell. Base attack consumes all foretell to deal 50% more damage per foretell consumed. During Twilight, any foretell consumed is not removed. Okay, so what you do is you set yourself up such that you're in Twilight, spend all of your AP on free aim, and then do a base attack, which then does, I don't know if you have like 10 foretell on the time. If you could get 20 foretell if you're lucky, then you do 1,000% more damage, and then each attack on top of that does way more. Like, basically, you could set Shell up to do like the equivalent of like hundreds of auto attacks or basic attacks worth of damage. But yeah, it's not 200 million. It's not quite millions and millions and millions. Fantastic. Well, let's see here. Get shortcut back on you. Let me just run down the stairs. The funny thing is that kind of weapon, I'm sure you could make a Ciel build that hits like really hard. It's just, it might not be relevant. What do you think of my build, guys? Oh, we got some rocks. Admittedly, it's not like Ciel couldn't do the big damage. It's just that she's that good at being the support that there isn't really any reason to have her be the damage one. Like, it's the same thing with Verso, is that the reason why Mael and Lune tend to be the ones that like burst damage centers around is because Verso and Ciel are the best support characters. And like, as some of you may remember from my biggest single hit, it is a disadvantage to be the better support, because that means like you can't be there to support yourself. And Monoko's also there, yes. He's very good at making shields. And we continue. Right. So to summarize, Clay is invulnerable until we get a counterattack. I don't know if we can even build. Oh, we can build. Okay, cool. The only thing we can't do is actually damage. So what we do is we get Mael into position, and then we basically just have to let her have a go, and then we have to parry it perfectly. And each time we don't, we have to just like stall until we can. And I'm basically just doing the turn exactly like I would do it, just to make sure that I have it like in the correct order. Use last chance. Boom. We're in position. We can't attack, so we just wait. And the shortcut, we also just wait. And you basically just shoot like a maniac to make sure that the buffs are maintained.
You're outmatched.
And you do the same. I'm also realizing that Shell basically giving slow to Clair and us having rush means that we have to wait even longer. Oh, she's taking a lot of turns now that she's started. Oh boy. I feel like I was pressing the button, but my character wasn't moving.
Well, thanks. Yeah, dodge. Ready to parry.
Settlement! That doesn't let you go until you parry her, bearing things like, ah, okay, that explains. Let me just gonna try this and get a more stable, because it feels like I'm missing parries because like dips in frame rate or something. I'd rather have it stable than derping out when I need it to be right. It is funny that her first turn is affected by speed, so you can slow her down, so you can really set up if you want.
I can do it. I'm okay.
Let's carve a path.
Hey, Crusher! Hope you're doing well.
Show me what you can do. I can do it. I'm okay.
Well... Didn't really make a difference.
Show me what you can do. Time to hit big. Last chance. Okay.
Occurs to me that maybe it makes more sense to just spam Meso Forte, and then when it is actually time, then use Last Chance into Gommage. That probably makes more sense.
Ready to strike.
Could even just pass the turn.
Eyes don't cry. Show me what you can do. I can do. Finesse and grace. It's locked on you.
I basically misclicked every single timing, or was like a moment too soon on every one of them.
Take your shot.
You know what? It doesn't matter. Let me just practice somehow. Get me to the battling part, to the parrying part.
Not leaving you behind.
Not waiting through that whole move.
Deck. No more tricks. Oh well. Let's spill some ink. Finesse and grace.
Time to end this.
No.
Time to strike.
Nope.
Anga!
Just try it.
Missed 2.
Try me.
Missed 2.
Take your shot. Let's gamble.
No.
Full deck. Guard up. Okay.
Just try it.
Imagine if we had to fly through that over and over and over again.
My turn. Cut him down.
More tricks. Ready? Ready. It's locked on you.
Missed 2.
Dodge!
Missed 2.
I'm waiting.
Missed 2.
My own.
Cut him down. Let's carve a path.
Mael's turn, rather Ciel's turn, got skipped, or rather speed probably affected.
Last chance. Not giving up. Get out of this, Countess.
She doesn't take very much damage. Or something else is wrong.
Last chance. Ciel, dodge. Look out.
her taking damage removed slow from her. See if this helps. Oh, she lost slow because we got no, wait, what? I'm confused. Hadn't stunned her, she would have eaten Verso. Well, there we go. I only get one turn here though, so we should probably... Now the question is whether we go... Intervention or Fortune's Fury. Intervention with the logic that Male goes immediately, and Fortune's Fury being Male goes next. I think we're going with Intervention and hoping that Male can do enough damage. As is. Oh wait, what? I'm confused. It showed only one turn for Ciel for a while, now she gets two anyway?
Show me what you can do. Your turn to shine. This will hurt.
My God, you have a lot of health. Slap Clair with slow. No. When Ciel, her weapon basically says if she has a sun charge, the enemy is slowed. If she's in Twilight, they're greater slowed. So that's what happened. But I don't know. I'm guessing that there was some sort of phase transition, which is the reason why she stopped being slowed.
Let's carve a path.
Why does Verso get 3 turns now? Now he's back to 2. Oh man, this game is breaking at the seams. Considering what Silvermane says, I'm guessing that there was some sort of phase transition. One more down! Hey! Hey, Lana! And actually, that didn't happen for Duollistes, did it? For a second, like, I thought it was a phase transition or something. I see her drop, you know, not 0 health. It could be a phase transition, you never know. But hey, that was basically got the parry once Boom, we won. That easy. Or easy. Climb. Damage can't be reduced, blocked, or absorbed by elemental affinities. Which basically means that she can ignore enemies being immune or resistant to an element and just use her attack anyway. An ethereal sword deals light damage on any damage dealt with skills? Starting a turn with one of each element stain doubles damage dealt this turn. Specific setup for specific weapon. I do remember that, Silvermint. It was just, now that I remember, Duollistes didn't. Which is why I was like, oh, here it comes! Oh, never mind. Well, you know, you can wear it. You can use that. Congratulations. Enjoy. Now there's only one left. A gaming battle? Simon will make you suffer? Probably. Let's see what we can do. If he also has a ridiculous amount of defense, then we will have a bad time. Oh, but what? We should be doing this, this, and this. Not that it changes much. Eh. But yeah, basically Simon is the same situation, like, is at least initially the same situation. And the key thing is basically I have set myself up under the assumption that we can skip the phase where he deletes the main team. If that's not possible, then that's basically not possible for me to win. Because I have not planned for anything else. Partly because I saw how much damage I can do, checked how much health he has, and went, I mean, if those things add together, then he will not get to do that. But it's perfectly possible. It's not possible to skip this Simon's phase skip? Well, then I guess we'll have to figure that out. He forces it and then heals to full. Well, then I guess we'll have to think of something. Because I don't think Monoko and Lune can do very much as they are presently. Also on a slightly different note, gaming battle. Calm down. I'm not your enemy. What can we do? We could practice with the main team on phase 1 and just see how that goes. And then switch it around when we're actually like, well, I can actually do the attacks. But yeah, if that's how it works, then we basically need to do 100-something million damage with the, like, with basically the backline, and then do it again with the main team, or vice versa. And it probably makes more sense to, like, once you have the strategy down, to do the, like, the backup squad first, even though it'll take longer. But I do not know if I even have a way to make Lune or Monoko do the damage needed. Make your first team Ciel and Mael so you can one-shot them and then do something with Lune and Verso. Monoko for a backup team. Yeah, that could also work. That could also work. That does give good stats, although she would have maxed out luck anyway with this weapon, but I don't even know if we're gonna use this weapon. Let me just go back down to the flag. But hey, even if we don't, and even if we end up not beating Simon, I went into this originally expecting killing nothing, and prepared as much as I could in time to try and defeat something. And we did get 2 out of 3 so far. Or technically 3 out of 4. If I recall correctly, the 2 kind of things you can do with Lune is like either Lightning Dance or Elemental Genesis, I believe, are the things. And the weapon we have here definitely is like designed to be used with Elemental Genesis. But as far as I can see, you could use Lightning Dance with Elemental Trick as well. Because you use this, get 1 of each stain, which like shoves everything out, and then you can use Lightning Dance, which spends 3 of them, and just use Elemental Trick to shove things out again. You just alternate. And Elemental Genesis is the exact same thing. The key difference is that Lightning Dance has a higher AP cost, so that's something you need to keep in mind. I'll unlock this, because it's probably going to be those 2 moves we're going to use anyway. Because the Annihilation, we just defeated Clair. And we also defeated Duollistes, and now we had the revelation, Shaq, that indeed you do have to defeat, essentially defeat Simon twice with each half of your team. So I'm like, I didn't actually prepare for that in retrospect. So we're trying to figure out how to do that. Well, now we have everything. I believe it's a different weapon than Climb. that you use for the lightning dance thing, or is it or is climb also a way to do it? What level is Lune? Well, she's level 93. That should be fine. I think there was a weapon that said something about dark stains. This one. But that requires more setup, because you have to, like, make the stains, use a base attack, and then have a turn. Whereas climb, you can just go A, B, A, B, A, B. I don't know, like, the problem is I don't know how much damage the swords do. This cat, well, like, we don't even have Escaverum, so... It would be Esquim. The Dark Stains will do much more damage. Hmm. So quite a big power difference, but that's probably attributes. That was not the right order to do things, I think. Oh, well, I guess that works. Although I would like to have a lot more speed. Maybe not double third, maybe something that gives more speed. Whoa. We want cheater, definitely. And then things get complicated. So the target is to alternate these two, so well, sort of. We also need to use a basic attack. Do we care about making the basic attack very good? Because I believe that can be very expensive, but it could make a lot of her AP problems go away. Because you just need enough AP to use Elemental Trick. And then you use a base attack, and then the next turn she uses Lightning Dance. I mean, that could also be the strat. Put Luna and CL together. And then make Verso, Mael, and Monoko try and do something. You get one, like, baseline, you get 1 AP on turn start, right? So with nothing, does that mean you start with 1 or 2? This would make her basic attack give 4. Oh yeah, we have to remove in medias res from everyone. Which also means that there's no need to have things like powerful shield. Solidifying should go away as well. The most epic part, the whole build making, right guys? Like, the only thing missing is me going through all this trouble to make a build only to spend an hour and a half not being able to do anything. Wouldn't that be amazing? You know what also would be amazing is if I went into the fight and forgot painted power when I finally got a chance. That would be hilarious. Yeah, I've basically gone all damage. You can see I have the crit and the speed. I'm under the assumption that like I'm not gonna play around expecting to survive a hit, because some of his attacks delete the character anyway. It still hits hard, really hard on a lot of the time. Yeah, but I'm basically, again, assuming that I have to get it perfect to have a chance. So there's no point investing a lot of resources to be able to survive one hit. Because that also means that I have to survive more turns. And if you have to invest that much to survive one hit, then it would be better to invest that in damage and then just, you know, just don't get hit. You know, as one does. Just don't get hit, Lamau. And I don't have the Lumina points to get something like Second Chance and also having a functional build. Although that would be great too. Don't really see anything that would help at this amount of points. And then on to Monoko. Under the assumption that we're gonna get one tapped anyway, Clair's life doesn't do anything. Finding all the things that don't do anything for the build. Hey Pratik, we only have Simon left. don't really see a way to make Monoko do a lot of damage. Like, not that much lot of damage. Pratik Simon can delete Verso through his cannot die effect. He can't. Pratik, do you know that the Super Simon from the tower has attacks? Attacks that do the thing where he just gets deleted from the canvas as part of his combos. And those ignore can't die, because you don't die, you're removed. You know, like Magic the Gathering, you get exiled. Doesn't matter that you're indestructible. You just... Yes, it's not all of the attacks. I don't think you understand what I'm saying, Pratik. Versus not dying when he does that. You know how when phase 2 happens that he just goes and deletes the party? His regular attacks include that on single target, on some of the hits. The one where it just goes and you're gone. The thing that, the reason why you need Mael for phase 2, because Verso will be deleted. Simon can do that as like rotational stuff, like just as an attack he chose to do. Part of his like slashing combos, he'll just finish with laser beam that deletes you if you don't dodge it. It doesn't matter that you have infinite lives. It doesn't matter that you can't die. It doesn't do damage. It doesn't even kill you. It'll probably help. Have you reached phase 2? We haven't pulled yet. We haven't started, because I ran up to the canvas and was reminded that he heals to full and forces the phase 2. So we haven't started. But I did my homework. And we're just kind of stuck at the, I don't know what to give Monoko, because he's not going to do as much damage as anyone else. But he doesn't have that much support he can offer either. Yeah, I know, Silvermint. He becomes invulnerable, and even if you try to like chain stun him, he stays invulnerable until he will go like no longer stunned, stay invulnerable, and then his turn comes around again, and then he will do an attack, and then he won't be invulnerable. Like basically, he will be unable to be hurt until you let him have the turn you stole from him. So there's no point. The only benefit in stunning him is if you're setting something up. But what are you setting up? Like what? The damage buff? You can probably do that just fine without stunning him. And you're not setting up shields. That would be a bad idea. There isn't really anything. There's no point. That's also why I've been removing anything that says break. Why do you have this? Pratik, did you hear what I said 5 minutes ago? Did you process what I said 5 minutes ago? We haven't started the fight. Lacking anything else of help? We could try that. Just to be clear, this is the we are preparing for the battle before we start time of the stream. The reason why we're at that point, despite we've been going for 2 hours almost, is because we beat 2 bosses, or like we beat the 2 other bosses before. Using any DLC weapons and pictos. Yeah, we have most of it. But you can also see because we have AP discount right there. Besides, this boss fight is DLC, so it would be stupid to go in any other in any other order. I didn't know that it actually worked like that. I was wondering if it worked like that. In that case, we should probably get that for Lune. But Mael is using Gommage, so there is no 5th hit to boost. Inverted Affinity probably doesn't help then, or Tainted. The one that needs the most help. I completely forgot that I had those. Good thing, because I might have just wasted it on someone that didn't need it as much. I don't think AP discount is worth it. It will just save too. I think we can do better than that. And grab some more damage effects. You have first strike? Yes. So, to summarize, the suggested game plan was to start with the main team, and only if we're reaching phase 2 in the first place is there any point in swapping things around. The way I had envisioned it is that the main team at present is versus Yell and Mael. However, I have a feeling that Monoko and Lune isn't strong enough of a team comp to reach phase 2. So when it comes to that, I would probably switch it around so we have Lune and CL initially. And then for phase 2 we have Verso, Mael and Monoko. The problem is that with the way that I've set things up, I don't know where Monoko fits in all this. Like, what kind of tool does he have that would be super useful? Because he's not going to do as much damage as Mael. That's not happening. Which means that he has to do buffs. But even that is maybe a little bit unnecessary at this point. And I don't think he has some sort of a way to give Mael more turns. He might just like kind of be there with pom-poms, just doing whatever he can do. And that'll just have to be that. He'll do like whatever damage he can. Maybe he'll maintain buffs. Exactly, Silvermint. Yeah, that was my plan, is that we will go with these three, and if we start hitting phase 2, which we might not, like it's possible that I just never get this off the ground, and then I'm like, oh, end of stream. And that is just how it'll have to be. Or if we do hit phase 2, then we will switch things around and have Ciel and Lune take the front line. And then we will have the rest do what they can do. I think that'll have to be how it'll be. But I have to keep checking because I feel like I've missed something. That's actually the worst part, is that I'm recognizing that I could probably solve this by using the favorites system, but I realized that was a thing so late that I don't even trust if I remember to favorite everything. Hey, Rost. Yeah, and the thing that I've set up so far, Silvermint, is that I'm not actually planning to do any damage with Verso. He's kind of just there to prop up someone else. It could probably work to just switch things around, but this is like the plan that I've gone in with. I'd rather not have to rearrange everything again. And if just Verso and Mael hits the field, then Mael should still be able to do half of the... I don't know how much defense Simon has, but half of the 910 million that Mael can do with the setup. And even if she low rolls and the roulette says no, that would still be 110 million or something like that. Which would either one-shot or almost one-shot Simon. That's also the reason why I want to put CL with Lune, is because both Verso and CL basically have the capacity to buff someone insanely hard. And I guess we don't need both at the same time. Unless you have like a ludicrous amount of defense. And that might just work. But that does kind of put Monoko in this weird position where he's just there. I was just happy to be here, yeah. Anyway, I'll be right back before we go for this. In the meantime, Manatee restored. The Manatee of the Void. Door. Alright, back. Yeah, my expectation is that, let's not forget that for regular Simon, even when all I needed was one, like, uninterrupted sequence of turns where everyone is alive, it still took us a long time to beat regular Simon. This is the same, quote-unquote, except the attacks are more complicated. And it's not just one turn. Even if we, like, magically just instantly switched to phase 2 and just, like, skipped past phase 1, we have to do it again. And I don't think we can do that twice. Like, we don't have the combined firepower to just delete him twice. So I would have to survive several turns. We'll probably get there eventually, but I don't know if we'll get it in 1 hour. And yeah, I went into this with, we're gonna give it as long as a stream, and we'll see how many we get. It was possible that we would just not beat Clair. So I think, even if we don't beat Simon, it's already pretty much a success, because I was like, last stream, I was like, I don't think I can beat any of them. But let's give it a go.
Eyes up, that's how.
Well, fantastic. Are you done? You can't delete us when we're already dead.
Like a phoenix. On me.
Nope.
Eyes up, person.
I like how if one person is available, it does delete, just deletes everyone anyway.
Just try it. Oh well.
No, you don't want to add solidifying critique. Simon steals your shields. And I have survivor on those that can afford it. As it turns out, can't afford that on everyone. That's also why you see some characters pop back up from second chance, because they could afford it. Not everyone could afford it. And it doesn't really help to, like, add assistance to survive the first hit. Like, okay, what do you do for the next turn? And the next turn, and the next turn. That's why I'm starting to parry, because this is not happening if I don't get it right. But yeah, I don't have any shields on anyone because he steals them. I'm not gonna even try. Exactly, Sal. Just have to play perfect. That is also precisely the reason why. He only gets it. That's not what this is about, Pratik. I'm expecting that he will survive to have another turn. So it doesn't matter that I can survive one of his turns. It also feels a little bit weak, to be honest. But, like, I mean, it might work. But we'll get there when we get there. But even then, I don't know about the solidifying one, because does he then get the shields from what remains? Don't want to risk that.
Look out!
Fifth hit is a little hard. Solidifying pops up when you get hit because of Survivor. Yes, but I assume he will steal shields again throughout the battle. So I don't want to give him even the chance. Back to wishing that the expedition failed menu took less time. But yeah, I feel like we spent enough time going over all of the options and deciding what we're going to do. And we're not going to change anything unless we get a really good reason to. Simplement says, if you have shields at any point, he will cut in and take them before he attacks, so it's pointless. Yeah, so the only way solidifying works is if he hits you, activates your shields from Survivor, and then you can, like, you know, take 2 more hits because they're there in the middle of his attack. But then if anything remains, he will steal those, and you might not want to do that. So it's really risky. So we're basically going with it has to be perfect or it's not happening. So anything to help us with turn 1 isn't good enough. It has to help us the whole way. It's that 5th hit. This is why I don't do super bosses, not very fun. Yeah, I get that. Let me put it like this. I probably wouldn't bother if it was just sitting on my own, but we're here together. Trying to defeat Simon together as our achievement.
Look out!
Exactly, Silvermint. Let's do this together, bro. And I will try, but I have set a rather strict time limit to not lose my sanity. Doesn't Yasmat have like a whole mechanic with like carrying over health lost between attempts or something? At least the music is good. Had like 50 million or something, and there's a damage cap of 10k. Ah, yes, the classic. Well, someone died, so he's taking another go. Calm down, she's already dead.
On me.
And someone died, so he's taking another turn.
Okay.
Super bosses are walking a fine line. If the proper strategy is all that is needed, it's fine, and the prep takes a reasonable amount of time. But once the execution becomes ridiculous as well, it's not fun anymore. Yeah, I get that. And I feel like the bosses here are sort of like gradually going that line, because the first two, which is Lampmaster and Duoliste, has like that they're trying to beat you in a very specific way that you can kind of play around. Clair reaches a point where it's like there's kind of only one way to beat her. You either do it or you don't. And Simon goes one step further and basically expects the same level of perfection, but even more. And that is where it gets a little too hard. But some people enjoy this. I'm not here going like, this battle bad. I think it's very enjoyable to actually get it right.
Parry it.
Because it is very nice when I'm getting, like, each hit I'm getting right. And then it kind of, you know, falls flat on its face. Like, yes, yes, yes! Oh.
Bring it on.
And also on the bright side, at least he just opens with it. So, like, you don't have to, like go through your turns before he starts. You just get right to the important part. Like with Clair, we reached a point where we had to like sit and pass turns so she could have a go, because she's invulnerable until you parry her.
Nasso, dodge.
Mistimed. Noxus, my problem with bosses in general is the long "you fail" screen. Yeah. Every time I've been stuck on a boss in this game, the only thing that I've generally pointed at, I have not been like, this fight is unfair. The main thing I've always said is, could they make the end, like the fail screen shorter? Could I just press a button and it just interrupts that Clair Obscur thing? Just move on. I want to try again. Just let me go immediately. Just boom. Then it would be a lot more fun for me.
Vessel dodge.
Like, case in point, a while back when we had like this test against the dancers where you have to parry everything, and I kept failing. And then at some point I just went like, I'm just gonna dodged everything, and then I basically got to go again immediately because I survived, and then got to parry. So I basically got to warm up and go again, because every time I had to retry, I was like, okay, back from the beginning, reload. And this simple difference of having 2 seconds between attempts instead of 30 was all I needed, and then I got it. So it is very frustrating to deal with this.
Look out. Don't worry, I'm here.
Well, I learned something. So, the thing that I learned, for those that don't know this fight, if you pay really close attention,
Leaving you behind.
when he does the attacks, there's like a white flash far to the left. That's his sword. Then there's a green, red, and yellow sword. Each of those flashes indicate the timing of the sword. So if it's like all 4 flashes, then he will slash down, and then immediately green, and then red, and then yellow. If it just goes white, yellow, then he goes swing, swing, because the yellow sword is slower. But if it goes like white, green, then it goes ding, ding. And if it goes white, red, it goes ding, ding. And if it goes white, red, yellow, it goes ding, ding, ding. That's something you also need to take, like, to learn for this fight, as I discovered just now. Oh, it's an additional thing.
Not impressed.
The spacing distance between the lines is timing. Yeah, I know. I realized that, but it seems like the yellow is always furthest to the right. So, like, the coloring helps.
Waiting.
Almost.
Merci.
Ow. My void cup. Ooh. Hey, Lex.
Oh well.
a weird looking savage proc, right? One day we'll have 14 collab with Expedition 33. We'll have Simon. It better be this version. Did you know that abandoned battle button didn't exist before the DLC? I've heard that. I've also heard that this screen didn't exist. And you actually had to like run it back each time. But this boss also didn't exist before the DLC. So maybe it kind of evens out. Ow. No, says I played some Spelunky 2 yesterday and the instant restart is very nice and fast. Oh yeah, I could imagine.
Eyes up, person.
Speaking of, like, it's been a while, but there is a super boss in Grime, which is like, you know, a side-scroller kind of Souls-like game. In every boss fight in the game, if you die, you know, you go back to the quote-unquote campfire, and then you have to, like, retrace your steps. For the most part, they put a campfire, like, right next to the boss. So, like, you just have to, like, walk through the door again, or take the elevator up again, or whatever it is. Like, it's not that far. You don't have to fight anything most of the time. But for the super boss, they just plop you down right next to the boss. If you take one step forward, rematch immediately. It's actually coded in such a way that... Here's the thing, when I played through, I was doing a special challenge run for myself that I only used upgrades if I died. Like, because resources weren't dropped when you died, I was like, I will only buy a level up if I die, and I will get only one. Things like that. Which meant that I kept extremely close track of my death count. And the super boss didn't add to the death counter because it didn't even consider it a death. It just placed you back. You lost, boom. No run back. Pretty interesting little quality of life. And I do think it took me like 200 tries or something. Which says a lot, because I completed the original game with like 50 deaths total, I believe. Despite this challenge. Next is sword. Here comes the mechanics.
Well.
No, Verso! I'm not gonna sit through that. I refuse. Yeah, if you are enjoying this madness, it does help a lot with the like over on the YouTube side of things. You know, algorithms and all that.
Oh well.
Ow. I keep pressing that like once, like half a second too soon, because I react to him doing like this, and not him actually swinging the sword.
Eso, dodge.
One day we'll get a turn.
It's locked on you.
Boom!
Let's dance.
Ah, right, the long combo that I don't know how to block.
I'm waiting. Still need your help.
Oh, wow! That yellow right there at the end is mean. No worries, Rust. Enjoy your evening. Is it finally my turn? It's my turn! Woo! We did it! It's actually my turn a bunch of times. Also, versus already perfection level A from all the parrying.
I've lived through worse.
I will say the 2.5 million counter did a decent amount of damage. Now let's give it everything we've got. Power maximum.
Let's spill something. Get out of this, Countess. I can do it.
The problem is that he will not die. He has a second. He has a phase 2. I get to hear the other half of the song. Yeah, great. But yeah, there's nothing more we can do. If I understand correctly, when his turn, like we can't hurt him anymore, and when his turn comes, he deletes us. We can do this for the memes. But the point is, that was the plan all along. The problem is that not part of the plan is that he can just say, no, actually I don't die.
Not giving up. Void takes everything.
just double checking fatigue. It would be the silliest way to like miss the opportunity if it was like, he's dead now. And then he was like, no, actually I have like 10 HP.
Let's carve a path.
It was just making sure.
Oh well.
And it just goes poof, and there's nothing you can do. Funny how I didn't think of that earlier.
Elements converge.
Wait, what? The wait, what is the slowed him so much that Lune gets a turn again, and the rush sped Monoko up so much that he gets to go again. I don't think we have the damage with this setup, but let's see. We didn't bring defenseless. Nope. Wow. Such damage.
Lightning dart.
Yeah, we have to do all that again. Not enough resources. 18 Lee. We have to do even more again. I didn't even think of any gradient moves. Yeah, I have to bend the versus straps. We also beat everything there. Did you miss the stream when we went to versus straps? Give a gradient overcharge? Yeah, the problem is that Lune is very, very handicapped on that. But you have a good point. We might be able to do it. For instance, how much HP does this guy have? About 110 million. Yes, that's a lot. This. Well.
It likes you.
So close. And it was even the easy attack, the easy version of the easy attack. Man! Dang it! We were right there. Right, so what can we lose? I guess so. I guess I agree with that, Silvermint. Phase 2 triggers at 30%. Yeah, that could also be a justification to switch the team around. But Team 2, which is Luna and Monoko right now, doesn't really care that much about the turn order. Whereas Team 1 needs Verso to go first, and then Ciel, and then Mal. And when you send in the Team 2, I believe you don't control that anymore. The Gradient Overcharge. What can we drop? I mean, augmented aim doesn't matter, but it doesn't do anything. That isn't enough. I feel like anything I can drop costs too much. But actually, it's triple damage, right? So dropping like 25% and then gaining triple might still do it. This two will go by speed. I have made sure that the speed order is correct. I could also drop full strength for smaller loss. And then over here, how do we make Monoko able to apply defenseless? Does he have a move for that? Yes, he does. Yeah, that one too. And it's cheaper, and it lasts longer. That one. That could work. And with the amount of damage that Lune did, that should do it. If we can go into phase 2 with a full gradient, which I think we can, it should work. Wait. No, that won't work. Because phase 2 will start with full gradient. Lune will eat it all. And then I don't think we can easily build it up again. We don't have that amount of resources, Pratik. Actually, I have evidence. I know that it is not speed order when you get your Team 2 sent in, Pratik. If you rewind the stream, you'll find that Team 2 came in, Lune got a turn, then Monoko got a turn, and then Lune got a turn. Lune has like 3/4 of the speed of Monoko. So, unless... She has Auto Rush, which Monoko does not have, but I don't think she has... She does not have Greater Rush, so it wouldn't actually make her beat him. So it does seem to be random. But you know what? It just might work. When Team 1 finally got a turn, they got 2 turns each. So when they come into phase 2, they probably get 2 turns each anyway, and as long as we can set it up such that Mael eventually goes after CL. It should work. And if we can set it up so that Mr. Man dies after one big attack in phase 1, then it doesn't really matter. So how about we try that? Like so. And then we'll see how we deal with it. Almost. Yeah, that store idea could also work.
I'm ready.
Your turn to shine.
I'm ready.
We could also rely on that randomly. I guess.
Elements converge. A storm is coming.
Now's my favorite part. Fun begins.
Now's our chance. Lightning dance! I'm ready.
Well, that's, that order works. Let me think. If I use last chance now, then I will use my shortcut immediately. Should I just use Mezzo Forte and just wait until we've done the setup? Is that the smarter move? So basically, what I'm thinking is, do nothing. Ciel does her setup. Doesn't matter. She will use Marking Card and Fortune's Fury on Mael. Versa will probably eat the marked. That's probably fine. Then it will be Mael's turn. She does Gommage. If that isn't enough, then we can use last chance to set up Virtuous again. Ciel can use Fortune's Fury and Intervention to just shove Mael in front for another hit if it's not over. Fortune's Fury only lasts... As far as I know, as far as I've been testing and as far as I've been told, Fortune's Fury still works even if you use last chance beforehand. Feels like the buffs get really weird with Cheater, but I could make sure to just use last. Do I use last chance here then, or what do I do? Do I use Mezzo Forte and then last chance and then Mezzo Forte again because I get shortcut? Yeah, we can do that.
This hurts.
Unfortunately, that kills inverted, but it wouldn't have lasted anyway.
Let's carve a path. Ready to strike.
I can do it.
exactly 1.3 billion damage. I want to add that that's the biggest hit that I've done in the game. Even in my testing. That is the biggest hit. And also, yeah, without Mark and Inverted, those kind of didn't last, so it could have been more. It could have been more. But that also basically underlines that, as Pratik said, Fortune's Fury only lasts one turn. My assumption was that the guide that I saw said to, you know, use Fortune's Fury on Mael, but then it was like, on Mael's turn you use Last Chance. I'm like, does that work? And I just assumed it did. But based on this, no it doesn't, actually. And, by the way guys, I'll reward some rocks to eat, and Simon's hairstyle. And a lot of XP. Oh. Okay. The end screen disappeared, apparently. Let me just see. We got 30 million XP. And for the record, CL would need 19 million to level up. You even got it for Gustav in New Game Plus? Yeah, 6 hairstyles, true. And we just made it, guys! Just in time! We had like maybe 2 tries before we'd start to go overtime. We also got a ton of money. Check the... Right, let's do that. Let's see. Wow, there's a lot of wax in that. My god. You know, it gives a little Sephiroth. And now that I have a closer look, I feel like Simon is like he uses one really big sword in one hand. It's kind of Sephiroth. You feel me? And then it's probably been ages since Simon last washed his hair. Probably, yeah. I am very glad, just based on how hard all of the attacks are to dodge, I'm very glad that we basically only had, due to all the setup, we basically only had to survive one move. And then we just killed him twice. Which, I will admit, too hard for me. I eventually was able to beat his, his opening move, which you can use again. I was able to beat his short combo, where he just does the overhead slashes. But his long combo, or like long or powerful, I don't know. Never figured that one out. I basically always died to the first hit. Partly because I usually saw that as a result of getting hit, so I couldn't survive another one. But we did it. We cleared the Obscur. We expeditioned the 33. We did it, and now everyone has long hair. And it's clipping. Look, Final Fantasy 14, Expedition 33 isn't scared. Come on now. Look at this, Yoshi P. It's fine. You know, the best part is that you can see the hair, like, physics fall down a bit, but it lands at this angle. Oh, man. Monoko got scammed. Look at that. He barely got the hair. What? Scammed. I'm impressed that we managed to find, like, we managed to go, like, I had planned to just one-shot things with Mael. It hadn't occurred to me that we needed Lune. And we still managed to scrounge together a functional build that could do exactly the amount of damage needed of her. With very little help. Like, yeah, I know Monoko helped a little bit, but essentially, it was just, well, we have to make Lune work, and she just went with a bunch of scraps in a cave and was like, yeah, 80 million? How about that? Does that work? Yeah, actually, it's just enough. It's exactly the amount we need. Absolutely fantastic. And just in time. You know, I started this stream with the fear that if we were too strong, we would finish in like 30 minutes. And then there was nothing, like, then we're just like, what do we do now? Try again with 10x HP? That doesn't sound like fun. But it took us like 45 minutes or so, I think. Something like that. Per boss. And then we needed like 30 minutes to set up for Simon. And then he took just about an hour. Lune did just enough with table scraps and Mael with a 4-course meal. Like, Mael with 2 supporters to maximize her damage. And Lune is like, so what do I get? Monoko, do you know anything? I can slow down the boss and give it defenseless. That anything? Does that do anything for you? I mean, Mercer does that too. But yeah, it could work. Like, hilariously, I didn't even need to use like 2 turns to do that. We would have just used let's see, enfeebling attack. And what's it called? Slowing attack? Something? It's not enfeebling attack, it's exposing attack. And guys, we have too many luminous. In retrospect, we shouldn't have learned the ones we don't want to use. Where are you? You sure he got it? Or maybe the slow was carrying over? Only there is a search function, but it's not very good for this. For some reason. Slowing attack. We didn't even use it. It was just carrying over from phase 1. You just use that and exposing attack, and then you don't even need to have Monoko use 2 moves. Like, anyone could have... Mael could have done that. Which, like, is relevant because Mael is absolutely useless at support. She can give you shell. And she can apply defenseless. Mael, I have my entourage to enable me. Lune, hold my baguette. Le baguette. Fantastic. It would have been nice. Like, the funny thing is with all the Lumina is that this is alright, but sometimes it just doesn't agree. Like, for instance, you might go, status effect. Right? Status effect. Where is slowing attack? That applies to status effect. Like, hello? What? Okay. Maybe it's debuff. There it is. Are two of the same character on screen? No. It's Mael and Ciel in the same outfit and the same haircut. Verso can also do a lot of damage, but as far as I know, Lune can do what Verso does better, and Verso and Ciel just have the best damage buffs in the team. Like, the reason why Monoko is just kind of there is because his, like, Mael has the I believe the single strongest attack in the game and the strongest personal, like the one, like she shares strongest personal damage buff with Verso because S rank is equal to Virtuous, but Mael's attack is stronger. Like, her strongest attack is better. Lune has an equally insanely strong attack in Lightning Dance, with a lot more, like, setup to it. Like, she can't do it in one turn. Like, she needs 1.5, with Cheater considered, to do something comparable. While Ciel and Verso can do something big, they have the colossal disadvantage that... Good luck, Shaq! If Verso is trying to do the most damage, then he cannot have a Verso with, what's it, Cerezo? To buff his damage separately. And Mael and Monoko can't help him. And Lune can't help him either. So, him being the damage dealer means that you get less support, because he's the support! And the same problem for Ciel. Even if they can do something insane, they have the, like, they basically have the weakness that they can't bring themselves as support. And I don't know what Monoko, like, what's the best, I'm pretty sure the best Monoko can do is Lampmaster Light, which has scaling damage each time you use it. Like, he has the best scaling attack, and I'm pretty sure if he gets to set it up, like, if he gets to maximize it, it starts to, like, compete with the best. The problem is that he has to do it like 5 times to compete, like to have a chance. While the others are like he, like, basically he starts 5 turns before the start line. And then he has to, like, run up to the start line. And because he's running just as fast as everyone else by the time he's hit the start line, he can't catch up. Like, why do that? Why do that to yourself? But he is not Verso and he's not Ciel, so he can at least compete with Mael and Lune once he's there. There's just no point. There's no need. And then what he can do uniquely is he's the only one that can produce shields. Like, he's the shield factory. The problem is that the hardest boss in the game, both versions, invalidates shields as a strategy. So... you know, that's probably the biggest reason why Monoko kind of falls short when it comes to super bosses, is that he has access to the most busted, broken defensive tool for the party that is so broken that the only way to make the bosses truly, truly, truly hard is to take it away. It's also pretty funny because there is a Lumina called Powerful Shields that, if I remember correctly, it goes 10% increased damage per shield, and you can have up to 9. Like, that kind of makes shield affinity a little lame by comparison, doesn't it? Although if you could have both and just not get hit, then you're cooking. Just takes too long to build it because you can only build 2 shields at a time. Oh, I mean, it depends. It also, like, it's 1 shield at a time, or 2 if you're using Gradient. And if you're using Gradient, you're not using Gomage. You're not using Gomage, you're losing a lot of damage. But we did it! There are some things we didn't do. I think there's like some like random jumping puzzle style stuff we never did. I guess we could have looked for those if we had cleared faster. But let's just say that by the time that I was farming before this stream, we were already so powerful that anything in the game was completely incapable, like basically anything relevant was incapable of doing anything. Like when I went to get Mael's Esgrim weapon, there was a chromatic monster, like boss in front that died from Verso's free aim shots. There's just one you didn't do, which was what? Oh right, there was the chosen path? Which I have a feeling that might not be, like, it might just be, you know, everyone just switch around their tools to be damage dealers and then you're cooking. Set something up on Ciel with her new fancy base attack weapon and then just smack it. It's just, oh, there's just one puzzle. I also know that there is I think it's a mime fight that gives you the one, which is a Lumina that basically says you have 1 HP, which sounds good. You might go, oh, fantastic, then Death's Door works, right? Nope, because you have full health, not 1 health. Technically, it doesn't care. You have full health, not minimum health. Then there's the chosen path, which gives, I think it's called base shields, which makes it so that if you start your turn and you don't have shields, you get 1 shield, which it could help for Duollistes, it could help for Clair. Doesn't do anything for Simon. But I had a lot of fun with this game. I actually considered, just on my own time, to do a run of playing only 1 character. I've seen other people do that too. And it would of course be Gustav Verso that I would play for that. Just to see what you can do. And I do find it interesting, because I remember when we were like just progressing through everything, that we had at one point a conversation about the fact that the amount of solo buffs you can apply to yourself makes it pretty powerful to be alone. And the question was then, isn't that better than having 3 characters? But then, like, with this? With this? Also, let me just switch this around. So the reason why I ran all the way over here was because I wanted to show you. I said I was farming. I just want to demonstrate that I spent like a good 3, 4, 5 hours, I'm not even sure, doing this. And as far as I know, there is no faster way. This is it. Takes about 1.5 minutes. That part doesn't count. I just realized the order was wrong. I don't know why. I guess there's some speed after all, but doesn't matter. Let's meme it up. And you just do this over and over again, 5 rocks at a time. And of course, you should set it up so that you just start with Mael going, and then you just... And then, like, oh, by the way, there's an optimization here. Because if you land just right, you don't have to do the tactical roll, and that's faster. So you have to jump and jump past a little incline and land exactly on the rubble. Then you can save like 1 second. And you just run back. Fastest path around those guys. Just run back, rest, and go again. Did you fight Chromatic Clair Obscur at the top of the monolith where the paintbrush was? Yes, that's why we have a combo attack 1, 2, and 3. One of them comes from the Clair Obscur at the top. I'm pretty sure this is the fastest. Are you suggesting that it's even faster up at the top? But I don't think that one respawns. Oh, no worries. Let me just go and check. I'm pretty sure it doesn't respawn, but let's go and check. But we actually went to that one relatively early in Act 3 because, like, I mean, it was basically a core Lumina for the build I was going for Verso. And it's right there. I was also fighting the merchants and Renoir straps. I believe those give 1 rock at a time. Because I did check those. But you remove all of the running, and I believe they give more money. And I believe they also give grandiose rocks, whereas the Clair Obscur that gives 5 rocks gives... oh wait, we don't have to run this way, I don't believe. Whereas the Clair Obscur thing we just fought gives, I believe, rocks that are like below grandiose. Oh, we do actually have to run. Never mind. Another way to farm the creations. Yeah, that's also a way. I specifically found the Clair Obscur one, and I double-checked with Ardell, and they said the same thing. That, no, it does appear to be the fastest. So it might be that they're, like, nearly identical. So the best thing to keep in mind is that the Clair Obscur is probably weaker, so it's easier. And if they give 5 rocks, they give 5 rocks. That's what matters. And also, I need to get to a flag to show this. Just to put into perspective how much farming was done. I started by basically shoving all of the rocks that I needed on Mael to get her to like 498. She was level 97, so that she would end on 500 exactly. Monoko was at 339, and Versa was at the same. I believe CL and Lune were like 122 or something like that. So, a lot of farming was done. A lot of farming was done. But yeah, about 5 rocks per 1.5 minutes is decent. I also used that time to farm, to like master every Lumina. I even paused the farm to go and grab all of the Pictos I didn't have. with, for instance, the chosen path, I skipped. And I also, like, paused because, like, okay, now I have enough money to buy all of the pictures from this guy and that guy and that guy, so that I kept optimizing, whereas I guess the optimal path would have been to, like, just farm until I had money to buy everything. Go and buy everything and then just keep farming, but I preferred to do it a little bit in waves, because I wasn't sure if I was going to farm literally everything. But that's what I went with. The super farm to make sure that I was ready. Because I expected that it would be problematic. And it says the chromatic dance in Old Lumiere is close to exploit, but it did 1,395 lumina in 55 minutes. Yeah, I have heard about that one. The reason why I didn't even bother was because I've heard a lot of people just found that after their grind, their game crashed. And then they had to do it again. And I didn't want to deal with that. But I do remember that I was actually intending to level everyone to 99 before the stream as well, but I don't know where to farm XP, man. So I just like, well, I actually tested my build on Painted Love and found that they gave 0 XP. I was like, oh, guess they only work once. But yeah, we did it! How many levels did we get from that finale? You gained 2? You gained 1? You're already max. Did I forget to use his attributes? Or did he level up 5 times? He can't have leveled up 5 times, can he? I don't believe that. You know what? Let me just fix that. Come on now. There we go. Yeah, exactly, Ilana. That it, like, just gradually accumulates. Anyway, I had fun. I did everything, and I even thought to go again. But I didn't, because I was scared that there was even like this smidge tiniest chance that me having a second save could risk corrupting the main save. I heard some people mentioning that, so I didn't even try. But I only like the only time I've played Clair Obscur off stream has been leading up to a stream, just checking builds and stuff. And this specific rock farm, which is also the reason why I haven't gone out of my way to farm anything or grind anything on stream, because it's not very fun to watch. I think some people suggested last week that you could just do that on stream, just do the farm on stream, but then we're just sitting here looking at that. Whereas off stream, I'll just listen to something. I'll just watch something, just run back and forth, or talk with someone in between. That's actually the hardest part, was that I couldn't, like, write with people, because I was writing with people, I was not running. The best I could do is like write like 5 words in the like during the animation of Phantom Strike, and then I'd have to be ready to click and run again. But yeah, I hope also that it wasn't disappointing that I basically brought a rocket launcher to this grand finale. But based on my skill level at parrying... Parry it! I felt it was needed to even have a chance. Which I do think I demonstrated quite clearly. But I think we will call it there. So, if you enjoyed this, if you would like to be part of the Discord community server, there's a link right there in the chat. There you'll find the weekly schedule where you can see what is coming up in the coming days. We usually update us on Monday. You'll also find the announcement room with links to videos and streams as I put them up. And if you grab the reminder roll in the role assignment room, you get a notification whenever I post a video or stream. As well as the next one around 15 minutes before stream starts, so you can catch it right when we go live. And if you'd like to support the channel even more directly, you can like the stream over on YouTube, you can follow, you can subscribe, you can become a member, you can super chat, you can cheer, you can do all of that goodness. If you don't like any of that, there's also the Ko-Fi link. I will post it right there in the chat. It will help support me and the channel directly, so I can focus on doing stuff like this with all of you without having to worry about algorithms and whatnot. So thanks so much for support. And yeah, that was a good time. Should we see if we can raid somebody? Now I have to figure out what we play next. I actually think I mentioned that originally I had kind of given up. I didn't think we could do this. But when I was planning this stream schedule this week, I didn't know what to do. They're like, well, we could try this. We could try. And it kind of worked out. Bomb, 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 bomb. Someone working on the Act 2. Let's hop into them. Let's hop over there. Right. On that note, that'll be it from me tonight. So good night, good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending where you're in the world, and hope to see you all very soon. Bye-bye!